You've probably got several, maybe even hundreds, of vendors set up in your QuickBooks Online file. You've got them all set up, you've got their information in there, they show up when you write checks, when you do expenses, but do you need to track them for 1099 payments? If you do, if you need to send them a 1099 at the end of the year, there's a couple of extra steps you have to do when you set the vendor up, or after they're set up, you can also do these steps. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing is, let's go to the Expenses tab, and then you see I'm on the Vendors section. You might start off on Expenses, so you may be here. All you have to do is click on Vendors and take you to your Vendor Center. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a new vendor. And let's scroll up here and let's just type some sample name in. So let's say this is Joe Sample. If he has a company, we can fill in the company. So we're just going to say Sample Company. You can choose the display name. You can display it as Sample Company, Joe Sample, Sample, Joe, whatever makes the most sense for how you've done it. So I'm going to choose Joe Sample. I can fill in his address. I can fill in phone number, email, any other information I have on this vendor. If I have an opening balance as of when I'm setting them up, I can do that as well. So now we get to the extra steps, the couple of things that you have to do. And really the major thing here is this little checkbox that says, right here, that says track payments for 1099. If you have their business ID number, which if you've gotten a W-9 you should have, this is where you're going to put that in. Maybe their social security number, might be their employer identification number. This is the part we need to do. So we're going to put in their business identification number, and that could be, I'm just going to type in a random number here, digits there, and then I'm going to click this checkbox, track payments for 1099. That's what you must do for QuickBooks to track it as a 1099 vendor. To be able to print 1099s from QuickBooks, you have to check that box. Now, a really cool thing here is we can come over to attachments. And so if they filled out a W-9, hopefully they filled out a W-9, we can actually attach that right here. So what I'm going to do is just click on the paper clip, and I've got a blank W-9 I downloaded. So we're going to open it. It's going to attach it right in there for us, and we're going to hit save. And so now Joe Sample is set up as a vendor, and he's set up as someone that we're tracking for 1099 payments. So if I click on Joe Sample, this brings up his page. And then if I go to vendor details, it's going to show me all of his information here. And it's also going to show me attachments. So I can click on this blank W-9 that I attached, and there it is. So if this was an actual W-9 and you have any questions throughout the year about mailing addresses, names, anything else, if you need this document for anything, you have a copy attached to your QuickBooks file. Talk about a lifesaver. Okay, so now let's scroll back up here. Back to expenses. And let's just let's click on Hicks Hardware here. This is somebody who's already in the system. They're not set up to track. All I have to do is click this box, and now they are set up to track. Again, hopefully I've got a W-9 on them. I can put in their ID number. I can attach it if I want to, but I can set them up as 1099 payments, even if they were already set up without that box checked. All we have to do is check the box.